this is Uncle Jim. It's snowing outside, so I thought I'd do a little test while it's snowing. Previous video, I was testing this Little Lee 145 grain in 10 millimeter mold, and I didn't get great results, and it could be because it's very light for caliber. And I've tried it in both barrels. I have a Lone Wolf Alpha Wolf barrel here and a stock Glock barrel. The Lone Wolf shot a group like that, had like 20 yards, and that wasn't great. And then I got to the Glock barrel, and it totally hated it. It was a shotgun pattern. It was terrible. So is it bullet weight or BHN? So these were fresh out of the pot, and they were only 13 BHN. But luckily I found some bullets. Cranky let me borrow a mold. It's an Arsenal 180 grain, these here. And luckily I had some that I did softer. And this turned out to be 13 BHN on the pencil test. So I'd call it 13 and a half. It just barely marked, but let's call it 13 plus. And so we're going to have the same BHN, and my theory is, does it like the heavier, more per caliber heavy bullet, or was it the BHN? So is it the BHN or the weight of the bullet that's the issue? So I quickly loaded up some here. I have a Fowler shot because I have a clean barrel, and I also forgot to change my stem, so it left a little ring on there. These were powder coated in a basket, so they're not as pretty, but who cares? It doesn't matter. Also, I'm using the Lee factory crimp, which has a ring that irons out the brass if it's, too big. And some of these really ironed hard, a couple of them out of the 5 or 6. And so we'll see what happens there. And I will tell you that in the Lone Wolf barrel, some of these won't plunk. Okay, but in the Glock barrel, you didn't even need to iron them out. Okay, so the load is 8.2 grains a long shot with a almost 180 grain bullet. And previous chronos, I'm in the 1300 feet per second. Overall length is 1.275 with this bullet. And Winchester large pistol primers for both Magnum and regular. And we'll see what happens. I'm just going to do a quickie garage door pop. I'm not even going to set the target out that far. If I can keep it in a little smaller than a tennis ball, I know that it likes the heavier bullets than it does the BHN, if that makes sense. So this video is going to be about VHN versus bullet weight, because that is awful light for 10 millimeter. 145 grain is light for a 40 actually, or All right, let's see what happens. So I'm going to use the stock Glock barrel, all stock Glock except for the red dot. This is a Glock 40 6-inch barrel, and we'll see. And I'm shooting in the garage, so the brass will fly back in the garage. Okay, Fowler shot. I'm just going to go above the target to the backyard. Okay, now for the target. That was bad. That was me. Gosh darn it, I'm so shaky. was better. I hit the black. I am really shaky. Got two in the black touching. Through that one, it's a little left of the bowl. That was me again. Not a good way to test. Just so damn shaky today. All right. Two of them were me. I called them definitely. But I see some in the black, so that's okay. All right, so that was some crappy ass shooting. My first one's way down here. Then I put two here. Then I threw one left and went here. But what it's telling me is bullet weight versus hardness, I think. I sure would have liked to shot 5 more shots or loaded 5 more because I was not ready yet. I wasn't. Look at that, the first shot. Oh my gosh. But these three, all right. All right, so the primers look fine. The shooter wasn't so fine. I was jerky and I couldn't keep the dot on the target, so just a lot of shaking and jerking going on. But it did tell me that it's bullet weight versus BHN because the little guys were doing a lot worse than that, even though it was a little longer range. So I'll find a load for the little guy here, but the 180 grains, that I can tell that it's not the BHN of the bullet, it's the bullet weight. So more to come. Terrible shooting. I should have loaded up more to get in the groove, but or even dry fired, you know, but I really jerked that first one bad. Usually I'll shoot the first one right on and then screw up from there, but not this time. All right, hope you found this interesting. I showed all to you, good and bad, and today was bad, but at least it told me it was bullet weight. Aha! I found the 5th brass. Yes. What the hell is that thing? What is that? Oh well.
You really suck, Uncle Jim.